While it's true that the natural calamities, the natural disasters are hard to difficult and hard to forecast completely, predict accurately and control them, there are similar disasters which happens at the corporate level. While natural disasters are dependent on factors which are natural and which impacts a multiple effect, quite similarly, corporate management disaster also is an outcome of multiple points, multiple factors, multiple inputs, all multiplied together collaboratively. It is true that natural calamities can be predicted, but they cannot be controlled. People can take measures to control or lessen the damage, but they cannot control the impact of the natural calamity or the calamity in itself completely. Well, in the corporate world also, we have disasters. Disaster management is one point which big organizations lay a lot of emphasis on. Disasters could relate to decisions, wrong collaborations, wrong choice of policies, wrong team, and defining the human resource policy in a different way, quite against the human demands or the requirement of the subordinates. So when we're talking about disaster management in corporate world, it is a way to control the wrong decisions, the wrong inputs, the wrong collaborations, and the wrong judgment. So question arises, when an organization is built by founders and knowledgeable people, why do people mismanage? Generally, mismanagement creeps into any kind of management, any big corporation or any big organization because of couple of points, 4 to 5 if I may downsize it to. The first is inversion of excellence. Now what does it mean? It simply means what is not excellent. Many a times organizations goes into a decision making for a collaboration, for a new product, for a new policy within the department, within the organization, which completely jeopardizes the existing system, existing policies, and existing mindset, resulting a lot of confusion. People try to adapt, and in this process of adapting, a lot of mistakes are, occurred. When these mistakes happen, the immediate result comes in terms of impact in the business. And to double it up, the management starts taking wrong decisions. In the sense, people are terminated, people are goes on a pay cut and so on. People are given negative feedbacks about how unproductive they are. In a sense, management completely forgets that a new process which has been implemented in the organization, not everybody can adapt to it. Because everybody has a certain skill sets according to which that person would be thinking, contributing, and going ahead. We always talk about the SMART goals. When the goals of an employee or the subordinate matches with the goal of an organization, overlaps it, the common area is the common goal. The management has failed many a times to show this common goal, wherein the employee do not see the growth of his or her career along with the growth of the organization. Now, whose mistake is that? You implement a process, you implement a new set of rules, a new set of protocols, or new technology. Many a times, a new CRM, a new reporting tool, new management tool, software is implemented within the organization. Working on that tool itself takes so much time because there is no proper training, there is no proper message which is given to the particular person or the organization as to how this tool can really reduce, minimize his unproductive time and help his life become easy within the organization, deliver better, give him some scope to learn, and go ahead. So when the organization implements such a technology, such a process, such a set of protocols for the employees to follow, or you know, they simply get confused as to what is the benefit out of it. Now, when the person working on the floor doesn't understand the benefit of that particular tool, he or she obviously detests it. He or she cannot accept it as something which is going to bring better results in terms of productivity, lessen his time, and make his life easy within the organization. So, in such a situation, generally what happens is employees do not use those tools effectively. So, to effectively use the tool, once you have implemented those, a proper training has to be given. A proper training as to this part of the tool, this part of the CRM, or this part of the technology is going to be aligned to your department or you. You don't have to understand the whole thing. It's good if you do, but the thing is, this is your part, and if you use this part very intelligently, effectively, it will reduce your time and involvement, and it will give you scope for learning new technologies, learning new things. So the management has to make those people understand the benefit of the uh, tool or process or the protocols which is implemented in the organization. Absence, many organizations faces absence of top brass leaders, managers, operation heads, just because you need to take out time from your daily schedule, daily workload, and everything. You need to also understand that once you come back from your leave, from your you know the paid leave or whatsoever, you need to switch back immediately to getting back to work, being productive. You cannot daydream about the holiday you spent, the kind of places you went, the food you ate. It's good to share with your teammates, with your subordinates. It can be done during the coffee break. It can be done when you're having that smoke session. But during the productive time, if you spend time showing pictures, showing videos, I have seen it in my life only. Somebody comes back from the leave and they start showing the pictures, videos, and they talk about it for 2 3 days. That's something that I would say actually cuts down the productive time. So think about, if in a team you have 10 members and 5 of them goes on leave one day or other, and they come back and share their experience elaborately. So what is happening is, on the floor, the productive hour is lost. Third point, I would say, which literally creates this kind of confusion, I would say, or rather a disaster, is a defect. What is a defect? A defect in terms of corporate management, I would say, is placing the wrong person, placing the wrong influential person who has been influencing the management or influencing the directors, and placing them in vital role, decision making role, wherein they take decisions not because of on basis of their experience or skill sets, just because of their designation, just because they are in some higher position. They start mistreating people, they start implementing new policies, they start implementing micro policies, and that adds up to the confusion. And the worst part is, the moment they go into that position level wherein they are higher than the subordinates or the other reportees, they place themselves in an absolute non-approachable situation wherein the subordinates cannot reach, cannot go and clarify their doubts. So they try to work on the process as per their own understanding, as per their own skill sets, resulting worse results, resulting in a result which is not aligned to what the management is expecting. And to add to that, these people who are in the helm of the organization, they start blaming these people. They start showing that they are incompetent, that they do not have a place in the team. And that literally breaks down the team morale. That literally breaks down the team spirit. Everybody is scared. Everybody tries to work individually to save his or her, back. But the thing is, in a team, yesterday we spoke about teamwork. In a team, in an organization, individual potential, individual contribution doesn't matter, because it is the contributive, collaborative effort which yields a result. So think about it. The department has a project and 10 different people are trying to solve it in 10 different directions. The result, exhaustion, desperation, confusion, and a lack of connectivity among the team. They do not collectively try to solve the same problem. Instead, all of them are trying to solve the problem, all of them are trying to save their back, all of them are trying to be in the good book, and resulting more and more people being frustrated, more and more people getting haywire. Their goals are not aligned to the skill sets, their productivity is not aligned to what is expected, and the whole department starts crumbling down. And when that happens, this kind of leaders who are at the helm of the organization, by just influencing the directors or the decision makers, and negatively taking the influence, these are the people who runs away when situations get tough, blaming the complete team, blaming the subordinates, blaming the team members. Now that literally is very unfortunate. That literally creates confusion for the team members. They start looking for job outside. The attrition rate goes high, and within the team also there are quarrels, there are debates, there are confrontations, because none of them are made to understand the collaborative effort that everybody has to put towards solving the same problem. The same leader who's negative, who's not being able to guide the team because he or she never has been positively driven. He or she hasn't always been influencing decision makers to rise up to the hierarchy, to rise up to the designation. So the person obviously lacks experience. The person obviously lacks the kind of first-hand knowledge about the kind of challenge that might get triggered when a particular decision is taken. And when the things goes haywire, when the things goes out of control, simply this kind of leaders blame their subordinates, blames the teamwork, and takes wrong decision in terms of as harsh as terminating the team members. I speak this from my experience, and I have seen that happen so many times. It is so very unfortunate, but that is exactly what happens in the corporate world. Collaborative effort is seldom considered, and this leader who has never been a collaborative leader himself or herself cannot but guide the team members or subordinates towards a collaborative effort solving a problem. Fourth point that would come is addiction. Many times I have seen the managers, operation heads having exceptional skills of management, managerial skills, and others. They fail miserably because of their own personal lifestyle, of their own personal habits, of their own personal addictions to maybe wine, wealth, power, so on. So when they are hungry for this kind of addictions like power, money, and recognition, all for himself or herself, that person, that leader can never lead the whole team as a whole team member, because the person is individualistic approach. The person has a very individualistic approach towards gaining success for his or her own career. There is no concept of common goal for these people. It is me and my goal, my career, and I have to rise up to the designation. Well, that's ambitious approach is not really recommended when you are the leader. Because as I keep on repeating, the first responsibility of any leader is to create more leaders for the organization. More leaders to lead, more leaders to take forward different projects of the organization. When you succeed in doing that, you are that great leader who's much awaited by the organization. So, addiction of anything, like be it intoxication, be it wealth, be it power, be it fame, that kind of person cannot lead a team because the person has a very individualistic approach and the person is uncontrolled and without any discipline. So, that person will never succeed in leading a team towards success. Last but least, afflictions. Afflictions is a lot of people, when they rise up to the hierarchy or to the designation, they create a lot of pain for the subordinates. They make life of their team member miserable because that's how they find themselves in the position of leader. Like, okay, I now can control your work life. I now can control, how much work pressure you have. I can, make your life miserable. So that's a kind of sadistic approach, let's say, honestly speaking. And unfortunately, in India, that has been, looked upon many a times in many organizations that I've worked upon. Like, they particularly take a kind of pleasure out of making life of the team members miserable, literally miserable, wherein they are crumbling, they are, almost on the verge of cracking down. And even during any kind of get-togethers, you will find these people, the subordinates, are all but morosed, and they are not opening up, they are not feeling as a team. Whereas this head, or this team head, or the department head, is having fun, is having the chit chat, and always targeting people to make their life miserable. When you are inflicting such kind of pain, such kind of confusion, such kind of misery to the other, your team members or subordinates, you cannot be having those team members working collaboratively towards the success of either the department or organization, because they do not see their growth, their success, their career growing in doing great job, in doing collaborative work, in putting their contribution effectively, because they do not find themselves growing along with the organization, along with the department, and they try to go into an individualistic approach wherein they try to just do their job, and they secretly seek out for new job opportunity, and if luck is good, they crack some interviews, they leave the organization, so resulting in attrition, resulting in workload, resulting in burden of the project among the existing members, and so on. So this kind of human made disasters are existing in the corporate world also. So when you are that leader, please consider these points. Please remember, you are there to create better leaders. You are there to contribute, not just rise up to a designation, enjoy the power, enjoy the supreme authority. That reminds me of Spider-Man. With great powers come great responsibility. If you remember that, I believe not only you, your organization can grow, you can grow, your team can grow, and the organization collaboratively, when it grows, it can give better result to your career, to your team members' career, and to the organization in itself. With that note, guys, I wind up this session of Morning Vibes with Career Counseling Online. It's always great to have you with me. So it's as I said, it's a brand new week. So work effectively, take care of your health, stay home, stay safe, and as I always say, learn, contribute, and evolve. Take care, guys.